Hi, everybody. I am Cathy Lasam Ballo from SOFA Design Institute Senior High School. I'm here to talk about how our school has pivoted during this pandemic and how we utilize the power of the arts in education in this new normal. So first off, let me begin by talking about what exactly was the situation here in the Philippines during the pandemic and our students. Because of the sudden shift into the online classroom has resulted in several challenges for not only the teachers but to the students themselves. And among the largest educational challenges that we faced during this pandemic was that there was a limited access to technology and the internet for several places in the Philippines and in the country. And because of this, and because of the sudden shift during the pandemic last year, it resulted in a lot of student stress and anxieties. And of course, when students are stressed and worried and anxious about their lessons, it also affected their studies. We saw a lot of absences. Not a lot of kids wanted to continue learning online because they were looking for the old experience of learning face to face in an actual classroom. So therefore, we had to look into answering this question. What do we need to do to get our students excited again to attend school online? And to answer that, we have identified three main issues. The first one would be the lagging student interest. They didn't want to come to class. They thought that classes were boring and that classes was not as exciting anymore because of the online medium. And of course, since they spent a lot of time on Zoom and on chats and on Google Classroom, the online fatigue of our students was really palpable. And therefore, because of their fatigue, it was really evident in that a lot of their coursework became lackluster. It became mechanical. They were just answering things so that they submitted requirements, if they submitted requirements. And that really brought us to think about what do the students want and what kind of experiences can we give them that will bolster their confidence, their excitement back again in class, and what would get them to be excited about their lessons. So we've banked upon giving them aesthetic experiences. And it is proven by data, by studies with different institutions that aesthetic experiences definitely correlate with improvements in students' physical and psychological well-being. And that is why we use art as therapy. And we've taken this a step further in our classes by using art in all of our classroom activities because it is proven that art helps students lower their stress. It helps them deal with their worries and anxieties because they can talk about it in a creative and an open minded manner. There is a place for them to explore about themselves and about their worries about the world. And in turn, when the students are able to talk about themselves honestly in this visual medium, the lessons taught then become easier to remember, easier to understand, because their lessons are directly applied into the artworks that they create from their lessons. And because of this new dynamic of creating artworks, the students are then given design challenges where they feel that, or rather, they're challenged to work with others online. And in a sense, it has helped them also really reconnect with each other socially, and in turn, whether wherever they are in the Philippines, they have also learned to be more understanding of each other's difficulties, and to learn to respect each other's kinds of artwork and their different capacities in school. So our approach is three-pronged. We have looked into, or rather, we have integrated arts and design with all of our general education curriculum. I'll get back. I'll talk about it a little bit more later. And aside from that, we've decided to have several subjects collaborate together into integrated capstone projects. It means that several teachers work together in order for a single project to be submitted by the students instead of many different projects. And of course, to help out our kids, we've selected apps and social media programs, which they were really already well versed in, and things that they were very confident in handling. And to talk about arts in education, it really hinges upon creativity of our students being creatives and their activities. These kinds of activities reinforce what they've learned in the classroom. And if they get to apply what they've learned, and I'm sure all of us educators here know this, that when they use their hands, when they create something out of a lesson that they've just learned, retention is definitely improved. And these problem-solving challenges, these design challenges, help help the students learn more and the importance of research, and it sparks their interest and allows them to be more engaged, more involved, and even more invested in learning their actual lessons. And therefore, we have created an environment of genuine student engagement. By integrating our different subjects together, we have decided that, of course, quality must trump over quantity, and that minimize the number of requirements that the students have to make, but definitely improve the meaningfulness or the kind of genuine learning that the students make by just having them generate one major capstone project for several subjects. So it minimized synchronous time online, but maximized the kind of learning that they were able to gain from our online classrooms. And to lower student stress and anxiety, we decided that let's work with what they already love to use. And for students, they loved gamifying their quizzes. How we assess them stopped with paper and pencil tests. We decided to give them fun quizzes such as Kahoot and Quizist, and for them to write journals about their work rather than to have them file reports of what they have learned today. And we've also banked upon using different and popular social media apps such as Facebook, Instagram, and even Discord. So these are all things that the students already knew how to use with their peers and with their friends. And the transition into using it as an online learning environment was very easy. And it's great because these are also apps that are easily accessible no matter what gadget the student was able to have. So some students could only have a phone or a tablet, while others could use a laptop. And by having really simple technology, which the kids were well versed in, it increased student engagement because it felt like nobody was excluded just because they didn't have the right tech. So let me show you some examples of student works from our grade 11s and grade 12s. The first example would be from our grade 11 class, and three subjects integrated together to create symmetry and self-portraiture. Now, how this works is that we task the students to look into themselves. It's part of the SOPA method, where we have the students look back into their own personal histories and talk about something which makes it authentic for them. In this portrait by Amanda Garcia, she has decided to talk about how her running thoughts are, or rather were during the pandemic, how she would always think at night regarding what would the future hold. And mathematics came in at the point where the students start drawing. On the leftmost part, you can see that the students learn how to plot out points of symmetry on a Cartesian plane, and they compute this in order to work out a sort of good portion for the face. This lesson really drives home the point that when three subjects together, techniques, concept, and mathematics come together, all of these are related into creating this beauty and design. So the next activity that our science teachers came together to create a project to integrate with the arts is called a calamity report. And here the students are tasked to research first about different volcanic activities all over the world, not only in the Philippines. And they're asked to research about this. What kind of volcano is it? How does it erupt? And how many times in a year does it erupt? And from there, the students are tasked to create a scale model of this volcano. And then as it erupts, the students are challenged to report about this volcano in a very creative manner. Rather than a PowerPoint presentation, they were tasked to report it as if they were actual reporters on the scene as the volcano erupted. So let me show you an example by one of our students, Bianca Bacani from grade 12, and I'll play this clip.
We are are here reporting live at the Eyjafjallajökull volcano in Suðurland, Iceland. It's known by many as the volcano that is impossible to pronounce. As you can see from our footage, the lava fountains were seen gushing in the air in the form of fissures.
Another activity that our students work on is called Zoom Theater. And here, several subjects came together to create their one-of-a-kind online play on Zoom. And here, the students are challenged to utilize the Zoom boxes as settings in their own play. With all of these subjects working together, the students are made to write their own scripts, work out what the topic of the play would be. Through their media and information literacy class, they identify an advocacy that they wish to talk about in their play. They write the characters. They work on the marketing of this play. They figure out the success of this play after it's been played online through their statistics and probability class. Movement is further bolstered by their PE class. This is one of our latest productions from our grade 11s. It's called Down the Rabbit Hole. And here we see JJ as playing the White Queen. It's really an exciting opportunity to see our students playing these characters with as much enthusiasm as if they were really on stage in a live theater. And here is a teaser trailer of our students in this play. This play, by the way, was open to the parents, friends, family members, and the whole of our school community for them to watch. And it really brought the kids together. And again, this really lessened the amount of work for them because one single output was to be graded by several subjects together. Lastly, and I think this is the biggest project for our grade 12 class before they graduate, is our virtual exhibitions. We've been doing this annually. And during the pandemic, we were forced to move this online. And it is interesting how the students have figured out a way to make it interesting and still very interactive for their viewers. And nearly all of our grade 12 subjects have integrated together for this capstone project. And the students do their own research. They make their own artworks, which tells about themselves. Again, an introspection about who they are as Filipino designers and artists in the future. They work on merchandising. They work on funding their own exhibition online. And they also learn how to launch it all by themselves. So let me show you one of the exhibitions prior. And this is again from the grade 12 class where the students launched this exhibit on Facebook, on Zoom, and on their own website, siamph.art. And you can actually visit this website if you so wish to say hello to our students' works there. And the kids here are able to showcase just the kind of work that went into it. Everything that is on this website is by the kids. Okay, so in summary, arts, subject integration, and student-friendly technologies help Filipino students flourish as we continue our education online. And I would like to invite all of you, educators, whether you're a creative, an art teacher, a science teacher, an English teacher, please do consider putting the arts or adding arts into your curriculum, into your education process. And let's together build creative classrooms. So thank you everybody for joining and watching my short show and tell. I hope that you can find value in what we have talked about today, and I'm hoping that you use the arts in the classroom. Thank you so much.